Hey there, welcome into Learningway Seed 3. This time we're just going to get underground. Once we get underground, we win the game, but we have to get underground with the hook. So we're just launching the Falcon, that's our sole objective here. We win the game with it. We're only doing K main, so we might have a pretty circuitous path to the hook. We could be doing most or all of the overworld in order to get that hook. We want to see a magma key. We might see a rat tail or a pink tail too to get extra things. There is no pass anywhere because, well, we're just gotta get underground. We have C relaxed, so anyone can be anywhere. We also have free characters, as well as no free characters. So we get all our characters. We should have a nice party. T is wildish. This will be the first time in Learningway where we aren't on T, where we don't have wild for shops and or treasures. So wildish weights stuff according to where it is. That means like Evelyn Castle is going to have potentially the best loot. Because it is, you can't get anything out of Evelyn Castle normally, and there's the monsters in a box that make it harder to loot safely there. S standard is going to guarantee 2 tier 5 items in the shop in Evelyn Castle, or in Evelyn Cave. Which means we could find sirens there, we could find coffins there, we could find hourglasses there, and it guarantees 2 of them. So like the Leviathan summon can be there. There can be a lot of good stuff there. Just to help out with that hook route, because the King Queen spot and the Rubicon spot can be pretty mean. That's why we're doing this as a fairly early learning way, but giving you some generous things. Sometimes you do need to be wary about the hook route. But you also shouldn't be totally scared of it, and you should, I believe that this should be a flag set that is a good practice flag set for you for quite a while as you navigate learning agility anchoring and seeing the impact of it pretty quickly with how big of a difference it can be once you get down the hook route. Or when you're properly or well anchored versus when you're not, because those boss spots are pretty fast, and so you need some sort of equalizer there. They're higher level than you, they hit harder, they're a little bit meaner than you're expecting most of the time. There can absolutely be some bosses down the hook route that stymie you pretty bad. The turtle Kanatsu is absolutely brutal at the Rubicon spot. Dark Knight Cecil is pretty darn mean at the King Queen spot. Any physical boss there is actually really bad. Baigen's pretty gross. So there's a lot of things that can stop you down that hook route. We do have no adamants on. We have the basic starter kit, so we don't have to loot for starting items, but we don't have Thor Rages in that kit if I remember correctly, so it might be something to think about buying as you're looking at shops. They will still be guaranteed in the overworld. We have E-Toggle, we have the life glitch, which is Sylph glitch, and we have the back row glitch on. Those are pretty much the standard glitches you'll see on in most flag sets. We turn those off for specific reasons generally. Once you are building a flag set, you're maybe trying to encourage a different grind by not turning on the life glitch. You're encouraging more mage-centric parties, or a different level of power based on what they're equipping with the back row glitch. And the Sylph glitch mostly gets turned off when Rydia is otherwise very powerful, when Rydia is otherwise pretty powerful, because then she just doesn't need the help that the Sylph glitch gives, because that was really most of the reason why that is on by default, is because Rydia wasn't super strong until Leviathan and Bahamut were easier to obtain when they were tier 6 and 7 respectively. Rydia often spent time as your anchor on the floor, not getting levels, not doing anything, because it was harder to make use of her. Once people started adding hero in to flag sets a lot, and once those summon spells got easier to get, Rydia got a lot more interesting, a lot more usable. She was just like sometimes more powerful in Palm early, so it became less frequent that you'd feel like you needed to give her a bit of a boost by getting that Sylph glitch, because the Sylph Sol is really handy early, and can carry you a decent way through the overworld and not feel too bad, but it is kind of slow to cast. That's why a lot of times you won't see runners who are really worried about time learn the spell and use the spell often, because it is slow. Even though it does roughly virus level damage and gives you a heal, the animation is pretty long. and it can feel very bad when like that's her best damage and you're at the bottom of the hook route, and you're just casting that 15 times in a fight. But that is pretty much the flag set. It's pretty straightforward. I do think that is one that as you're learning and growing in Free Enterprise that you will want to return to this flag set. And you do have some pretty easy knobs to twiddle in order to make this a little bit easier or harder. You can turn off See Relax to make it See Standard to make it harder. You could turn off No Dupes to make it easier. That way you could have multiple edges or Cecils or whatever. You could turn on S Wild, you could turn on S Free to make the shopping a little bit better and easier. If you want to make it easier, you could turn it to T Standard or even T Pro if you want to make it harder. You could turn See No Free on, so that you don't have free characters. That would also make it harder. And you could even turn on See No Earned instead to limit your character selection. You could do See Maybe to also change character selection a bunch. You could make it less likely that you fight a lot of things and see more character spots by turning on Moon and Underground for K. So K Moon, K Quest, or K Moon, K Summon. If you turn those on, you'll see fewer key items in the overworld, so you're more likely to have less experience. You could turn K-Mayab on to probably give yourself more reason to check spots and probably get more experience, but you can always do those anyway, so it's kind of be up to you. But another facet of this flag set where you're thinking in terms of racing, if you are thinking in that way at all, is that there's a pretty big power spike once you get underground. You have access to possibly do a green dragon or the yellow dragon eggs to get 34,000 experience that way. If you have an early Luca key, you could do some doors if you're set up well for that. You could maybe get a free boss in the Fame March to get a bunch of experience. You get a couple quick key item checks that can get you a boost and get you more access to things. So heading underground very, very fast is often a very strong strategy. And so learning how to do it, learning how to not be afraid of the hook route, and spending time kind of getting used to a pretty focused game. And this should be pretty practicable. You should be able to get, like, these seeds will probably maybe start around an hour for you or so. But you should be getting into the 40 minutes pretty quickly once you, and it's going to depend a lot on party and on the bosses there. But if you are starting to get comfortable and you're being in the 40 minutes underground on a hook route on this flag set, I think that's a good goal for you to start out with. And then as you get going and going faster and faster, and you can maybe take advantage of some different things, you might see those drop into the 30s, which would be a great stretch goal. And we do have not only this seed, which if you notice, we did, you didn't see a spoiler on the Learningway site because I hid it and removed it. But we did, when I generated the seed, we did spoil characters and bosses, just because there are some very, very rude combinations that would make this no fun for something in your first like 10 seeds of Free Enterprise, depending on how many you've played of Learningway 1 and 2 flag sets. So I did spoil these. I do kind of a little bit remember who's on the hook route, but I'm not going to spoil it for you here, other than the fact that if you watch this without playing it, you'll get spoiled just from seeing me. I'm going to play this as straight out as possible. But we do have a challenge seed, which was a pretty gross combination of characters and bosses, and I do encourage you at some point to go play that challenge seed. It is there on the Learningway site, just below this one. You can get the challenge seed. That seed will not be too hard. I will probably do a recording of that as well. That seed overall isn't that hard once you know a lot more of what you're doing. As far as I can tell from just seeing the characters and the bosses, but you do have to kind of know what you're doing to like figure out the strategy for it. So that should be a good challenge for people, and would definitely be one that frankly might make people, if they had to play it early in a career, not really enjoy Free Enterprise. So take it as a challenge, take it as a thing to learn how to do, but don't feel like you're a bad player if you don't do it or it takes you a long time. The bosses there on the hook route are some of they're not a fun combination of party and boss, frankly. And I didn't look at key items, so there could be some ways around how that went too. So I don't know exactly what's going on here or there. I just know I remember the bosses a little bit, and I don't remember characters hardly at all here. So let's go ahead and get started. Rose is nice. We should be able to get Zerk on her fairly quickly, and we should be able to. Good. That pink tail also means that we'll get a good key item because we're guaranteed to get a hook before we go underground. Eddie is not that exciting. We're hoping that he maybe gets a dancing dagger for keeping him around. But we are going to collect our party to start with. I want to see who we're working with, and we can figure out what we're looting and how we're doing it, and things like that. When see no free is on, or when free characters are on, picking up the people to see what you can do is absolutely the correct strategy. We'll start at Mysidia. We pick up a Dark Knight Cecil, so we'll probably definitely want to do Ordeals. He'll be fantastic. And we get Edge. So now we're just looking for some Edge items. Like, I'm very happy with this party right now. Eddie can probably just be on the floor for a while. Edge is going to carry us early game. Cecil's there to be a good guard on the hook route because the cover ability is really strong. I want to make sure we get him some levels at some point. So let's just loot here. And Watery South. I'm not gonna do a full loot because I never like walking all the way to the back and then walking all the way. But like with exit, I would think about it. We get Palom, that's a nice extra character, and we get a dancing dagger. Fantastic. So Palom has something to do early. We get to knock out Eddie pretty soon. We only revive him if we find a spoon. Got a couple of drain spirits to dart for Edge, which is fantastic. The other thing I will do before, because we're pretty much ready to go, is we will go loot Damsian and raise the hovercraft because we know we're going to need it, so we might as well, and then we'll just go straight to Antidale. I'm pretty comfy with this party as is, so we do get a character at Damsian. Not much I can do about that, but we're probably not going to go to Hobbs. Frankly, in terms of a just go fast sort of strategy, which I'm going to employ more on this seed than I have in others of Learningway, because we kind of want to. I'm still not going to time anything, but I do want to show like what you can do, like what happens if you go in under level, maybe what happens if you're not quite set up well. The Tiara is really good defense for Rosa. Dwarf Axe is really nice for Cecil. Dragoon gloves and shield also keep him as a very good defensive option. And he gets to be in the back row and still attack fully, and we don't even need to find a bow for him. So starting out pretty strong, which you would mostly expect for Tier Wildish. Like, this has been pretty nice. We find Kane, who we could take. Yeah, let's leave Edward out. I'll take Kane, and then if we need if we need agility anchoring stuff for the hook route, we can swap Eddie back in. If we find good stuff for Kane, then he can stay, and otherwise he's probably gonna go. But let's equip. We can equip Kane with that Dwarf Axe, and Edge. You're going to get a mute. And Palom, you get dancing. We're going to put Edge in the center, and then Rosa there. Okay. Wolfrod is nice for Palom to get him a little bit of a stat buff once he's actually casting magic and not just going to use Dancing Dagger on his turn. see, I'm going to slow down on looting a lot. Wildish, also the loot in here in Antland Cave is not great, so we're just going to pick up stuff that's mostly on the way and not worry about anything else. Oh, and we get Mega Sister, so... Hello Mute Knife. Do great work against them. So when we're killing the back sister, because she's the one who casts the wall. Which means that we're gonna roast each other. I mean, it's not much damage, so it's not really a big deal, but I always like to get a little roasty toasty. Move that pink tail down. It'll hopefully be a bit before we use it. And we get a legend sword. That's not really useful for me, but that's okay. It's a key item. We'll never know what that turns into, although we know that it actually turns into an Oxcal, because this is standard forged stuff. So we are going to absolutely skip out on doing rescuing the hostage. There's no one I would really want on no dupes at this point. We have a white mage with Rosa. We have Cecil as a guard person. We have Edge to do good damage. We're pretty set. So now we're gonna go do a little shopping. One, sell some of the stuff that I don't want ever. Like we don't need a flame spear, we don't need a silver hammer, we don't need a fire shield. We're keeping those. We don't need that. I don't need the short, and I don't need the whistle. Rune Ring, we're gonna buy one. A really good mage defense, which is going to help out against the Mad Ogres. We are going to do a Mad Ogre fight at some point. Charm arrows are good for Rosa. And then we're gonna be done shopping here. Let's go visit Eddie. Get a free key item from him. And then we'll head over to Fabul. Don't think I'm gonna loot the treasury at all. We've gotten enough loot so far, and we're probably looting Damsian, not Damsian, but Evelyn Castle or the Hook Route itself, depending on how far we get. Okay, so next goals are going to be get Cecil powered up and then go down the Hook Route. Zoom, zoom, as they say. So let's go see first what that is. Because we do have a pink tail to turn in, so let's get that. And Avenger is really sweet. Kane, stay in. That means we probably just leave Palom on the floor or don't take him. Or we switch out Palom for Eddie. So this is a really great start. We can also, once we dart a couple things, get rid of Edge actually. And keep Palom around if we need Quake. Like that is another consideration. We haven't found good Edge gear. Fu, we're not going to use enough bosses or fight enough bosses to make him worthwhile. So goodbye, Fu. Could have taken his stuff, but don't care. We probably do visit if we go pick up Eddie, or when we go pick up Eddie, we'll take his stuff because Rosa would like it. But equip Kane. Kane, buddy, you get a lot stronger now. You don't need that. Change form. We're gonna put you in the center and then throw you there, and good to go. We can keep Edge around for darts because we now don't really need question mark with this CPU. We should be fine. Let's give you the charm arrows, but you're not going to attack anything. Good job, Kane. Good job, Kane. Expected. That was the one person I didn't want that to hit. But it's fine. We'll get him back up and toss a Cure 2 on him. I move this down. Rosa, also, I do want to give you that tiara for defense. Yeah, let's go save. Just in case this second spot's rude. Switch our rows so we're prepared in the back row for it, and we'll let Kane keep avenging. That's going to be rude enough that we're going to reset and tent. I think at least one person was dying, possibly multiple, and I didn't want to have to think about struggling through that fight. Yeah, we're just gonna dart one of these drain spears, and then Kane will finish this off fairly soon. Put some stuff down. We won't equip anybody quite yet. And we're good spot. We're just gonna go in here. We'll get our paladin, and then we will Cecil will be set up for a slingshot, so he'll get some good XP. So we might try and just go straight for the quad ogres. Oh, we get a rat tail too. Okay, so we'll turn that in and see what's there before we actually go down the hook route. If we can turn that in, we can go switch Palom, maybe switch Edge, I don't know. I'm still undecided on that. No, we definitely switch Edge. We haven't found good stuff, unless we find long swords or get some good plus strength gear for Kane soon. We want to switch Edge out. Probably. Are we going to get Palom to Quake is the other question. Don't think there's enough XP for it without doing all the boxes. I'm going to kind of want to run a little bit of a very fast version of stuff. The other consideration is getting Rosa to blink. But let's first go back to Mysidia. We're gonna pick up Edward. We're gonna pick up Fu and drop him back off. We do want a good anchor, so Eddie will be anchoring the team. Let's get rid of Edge. We'll take his stuff. Dismiss Fu and take his stuff. Alright, so now we can give Rosa that Sork robe. We can give her the lunar staff. She can pick up the diamond ring. Alum will pick up the rune ring. We'll get him the Lilith, and we'll get him the wizard hat. I think that's all he gets. Cain picks up strength. That will give him more attack multipliers, make that Avenger better for him. We'll be sad if this rat tail turns into a good edge weapon, but I'm gonna stick with this party no matter what. And also the fact that we did have that one key item we knew we were gonna get. We could have decided to. Oh, I didn't move the hovercraft. That's good. You sometimes want to wait on doing the pigtail until you're also gonna do the rat tail. But sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, we get a tower key. Useless for me. Mark all those as done-ish, because we're never going to do the tower key. Yeah, I think we're just going to go straight in. The main reason to go straight in is that Cecil is going to get a slingshot here. Let's move you two, and then move you two. That's fine. We're gonna do a little looting on the way in here. We're not gonna fight the Stalemen. But since Cecil gets a slingshot, perfect curse string. Love it. Eddie can even get XP now, it doesn't matter. If we happen to mess up. And we got hourglasses. That was the thing I wanted to see here. So we're gonna sell some stuff that I don't need anymore. Doot. We don't need a drain spear. We don't need an iron ring. Okay. Let's buy 3 hourglasses just in case. No, we'll buy 2. 1 for Mad Ogres, 1 in case we see a good boss that is hourglassable. Nothing really interesting there. We could buy that, and there's the ninja weapons that I wanted, but so that'd be a good reason to go back and grab Edge. Let's grab that hat. So Cecil is going to pick up the dwarf axe real fast, and then he holds on to Dragoon and Dragoon. And I don't have anything better for you there, and Dragoon, and maybe Cain. Oh yeah. Yeah, so we're fine with all of that. Cecil's pretty well defended. Cain is going to do most of our damage. We will do a quick change for the Mad Ogre fight. I'm going to give Cain the mute knife, and then switch him back to the Avenger after he tosses the hourglass. And Riddy is here to give us an even better anchor than Eddie. Also a Mylon form. So that boss on the hook route isn't too scary. We didn't get a crystal sword, we won't get a crystal sword, we won't get an X-Cal, so like Cecil won't totally wreck a Mylon Z. But I feel pretty good about this party. Eddie, go away. We'll take Riddy in. We will take a quick save in case I mess something up. Well, let's get you that mute knife. And this gives us plenty of time to get life glitches and other things going down on this fight. Elixir is sweet. That definitely makes this less risky. Lumber Sword's a decent dart, so we still could have kept edge. Yeah, anyone who kept edge over Palom is just happy too. Like, he's got some good darts so far. He would still be very useful in this hook route. Especially because I don't think I'm going to get to Quake, if I remember correctly. There's no chance of it. Don't hate a karate shirt. We'll probably give that to Cecil to bump up his defense just a skosh over the call off. We'll throw Hourglass. We'll knock over our anchor. The Ogre's gonna do it for us. Palom with the Rune Ring on is well defended. Okay. So now that we have stopped them with the Hourglass, we'll just avenge with Kane. Make sure we life glitch. So Cecil gets a lot of levels. 21, he's going to defend very well for people. Zerk on Rose is pretty nice. We didn't get to Blink. We did get to Virus on the Kid, and we got a Power Shirt. Nice. Kane, get stronger. Cecil, get stronger. You can take off that, I guess? I mean, it doesn't really matter, so we'll just keep it on you. Palom, Karate's gonna be better. We can just probably cure Cecil and then go save and move on. Mom Bomb is one of those bosses who is pretty rude on the hook route, does physical damage. So we're going to want to cover Kane. He's our damage. See just how much he just popped Rosa. Now Cecil's covering, we're gonna be fine. She's going to cure 2 everyone so that people stay alive. We also do have an Hourglass for the bombs if we want it, which we're probably going to do. And just like other things, you want to make sure that you saw that went from just pointing to one to now pointing to all of them. Make sure it's pointing to all of them, because otherwise you won't target everybody. We don't really need that. Cecil should cover Kane just fine. There's no XP in this fight, so it doesn't really matter. You can see how hard those bombs hit. So Kane might have taken some pretty significant damage, but this is going to make sure that we get through this fight 100% of the time. Now, we don't know whether the next fight is going to be Mom Bomb or if it's going to be, or not Mom Bomb, if it's going to be Mylon Z or Mylon and Friends. So I'm going to switch up the defense a little bit. We're gonna go back and save just in case. We are pretty low level. We fought Antlion, we fought stuff on Ordeals, we fought one monster box, and that's it. So we are like Cecil is the biggest at level 22. Everyone else is level 20 or 21. We don't have a lot of strength going into this, so we are going to, in case that this is Mylon Z or Mylon and friends, we're gonna make sure that Kane has Dragoon gear on his gloves in order to make him resistant to lightning damage. And then we are going to make sure that Palom actually switches. Actually, we're going to switch him from Karate to Sorkrobe and give that to Rosa, because the Sorkrobe also resists lightning. So now Rosa with the diamond ring resists lightning. Everybody resists lightning. The Dragoon gear does. Those do. So we're in a pretty good spot for dealing with what should be fairly constant lit ones if this is Mylon Z or Mylon and friends. If it's Mylon Z, we don't really care. Like, we're fine. The other thing we could do and will do, this is Mylon Z protection. Going to give Cecil the wizard hat, which resists undead. So now Cecil's going to be fantastic defense against Mylon Z. Everyone is defending against the lightning of Mylon. Rosa's cure 2, Cecil's got cures, so we have enough curing to get through a Mylon Z. We have enough curing and defense to get through Mylon and friends, so we feel pretty confident. And it was Mylon Z, so let's just cover Rosa. And she's going to, we'll slow him down a little bit. Probably didn't need to cover Rosa. We'll bluff with Palom. This fight is just over already. Mylon Z doesn't know it, but it's over. Cecil can chip in a little bit. I didn't mean to do that cure 2 by Iridia. We've bluffed, we'll start virusing. We can just stop doing anything. Like, there's nothing else to do here. The worst case that we will need to like heal Kane one more time, but with him avenging at proper anchoring, he's doing really good damage, very fast. Mylon Z is not doing very much to him at all, and we're through. This is a pretty straightforward hook route, made super straightforward by having Cecil and 2 physical bosses and proper anchoring, so that we made sure that we didn't get totally pummeled and setting anything up. But we are through the hook route and we'll get our win game. Stuff that would have been meaner, Kanatsu is very mean. You want to make sure you've got Thor Rages for Kanatsu. And Odin would have been pretty mean. A little bit harder to handle. You have to do all that damage. We didn't really have the health to survive the Zentetsuken / Odin attack. So that would have been an interesting damage race. We would have had to probably look for lit arrows and a good bow for Rosa, and switch her to doing some of that stuff. She knew Zerk, so she's got a good bow and lit arrows, and with her and Kane doing damage, we probably get through it. And then Palom could help out with a lit 2 or so. But there's a hook route. I hope you enjoyed the seed. If you played it, I hope the explanations are helpful. And I definitely encourage you to play this flag set as well as the Learningway 2 flag set a few times. Like, give it 4 or 5 times, find some troublesome seeds. You could even turn on specific bosses using the meta configurations. option on the randomizer page to set up certain bosses at those spots to make them troublesome, to like see how a turtle is there and see how bad it can be. You can definitely there's a lot to learn. There's a lot of opportunity to learn very quickly in this sort of flag set. And like I said, the top of the thing is if you want to make this harder, don't turn on free characters. Add more spots where key items can be, so that it lessens the density of it, so you will see fewer characters and you will get fewer good key items. Turn down the treasure settings to standard or pro. Alternatively, from turning free characters off, turn off earned characters, so you only can see so many, just the free spots, and that's it, and you're stuck with a much smaller pool. You're more likely to get a full party that way than the other, but you have a much smaller you'll have a smaller opportunity where so there's kind of some push and pull on which one of those, even on a limited flag set like this, is going to get you more difficult or challenging results. Yeah, thanks for hanging out and watching, and stop into the Free Enterprise Discord, the workshop. If you want to suggest other Learningway seeds or have any questions or anything, Newbie's Corner is a great place to be. We'll just kind of let this go out and we'll get some harp music at the end, but I'm done talking.